The bosses get talked about all the time, but Souls mode enemies seem to fall under the radar, understandably. Even though some enemies are better designed or have more engaging lore than some bosses, and most of the time going through an area, the mobs pose a greater challenge than the actual boss. In my experience anyways. So Kilroy is here to break down every single enemy in Dark Souls 1. Although some assumptions have to be made, because the bosses themselves don't get enough lore. How much lore crumbs do you think the basic enemies will get? So instead of going by area, we're going to categorize the enemies. Some categories might seem shifty, but Let's start with the wildlife of Lordran. Comment down below which of these animals, you would rather see on your plate than as an enemy. First up is everyone's favorite, the basilisks. The name is taken from the mythological creature, basilisk of course, but they do not look anything like it. But they do share serpentine traits as well as amphibian traits. No explanation is ever given as to why they can curse. It might be completely natural, it might be someone's interference in the evolution chain. Another mythological inspiration is the Hydra, but this time it actually resembles its inspiration. Two can be found in the game. Both Hydras seem to have settled in their respective places after disasters happened in said places. One of the few non-demonic creatures in Lost Izalith are the burrowing rockworms. Their heart scales have probably saved them from going extinct due to the incident. And chaos bugs are probably former humans, right? The Witch of Izalith and two of her daughters have seemingly turned to bug-like creatures, so it would not be wrong to assume that the chaos bugs found in the area are former residents of Izalith. So it is unsure if all of the chaos bugs are parasites or not, but the red glowing eyes one is definitely one. It is also known as a sunlight maggot. Even though it is completely immobile, it's still alive and emits a shining light. Sunlight maggots seemingly can cause its host to go mad, as evident by our sun boy's demise. One of the many horrors of Blighttown, crack spiders are actually hollows turned into these spider mosquito, whip-throwing and fire-breathing monstrosities. So let's continue with the Blighttown wildlife. Giant leeches are giant leeches. They seem to only thrive in a poisonous ecosystem. The giant mosquitoes are unique in the sense that instead of sucking you off, they throw shit at you. Light a dog on fire and you would have the flaming attack dogs. Don't actually do that. And there are the normal dogs. And apparently they are undead as well, which does not sit right with me. As we will see in the next part, Gwyn cursed the immortal humans to turn mortal, and the curse slowly became the undead curse. So why would Gwyn curse dogs? Actually, you know what? Given how annoying they are, I understand why Gwyn would do that. And more undead animals are the rats, some small in Dark Souls scales, some large and one giant one. They eat the garbage from the depths and have made a living there. A thriving ecosystem really. The giant one is obviously the big boss. The sentient slimes found in the depths are created from the garbage there. There is actually an explanation of their sentience in DS3, but well, this is not Dark Souls 3 and they're probably not the same slimes either. And now some Darkroot Garden inhabitants. The demonic foliage or ants are former treant gardeners in service of Ulasil. After the Manhus incident, they lost their pay and turned to nature. In time, their offspring became completely feral, becoming these ambushing creatures. The tree lizards are unique looking, so quite a bummer that they do not get used more. These two-headed serpentine creatures are usually docile but can and will poison you. The froggers are another underutilized creature. Despite making rats, lizards, hollows poisonous, these guys somehow do not poison you. And the three great felines found here are probably cousins of Avina, but not sophisticated enough yet it seems. Now some dragons. Well, not quite, actually, but then again, quite yes. Because the undead dragons found are the actual dragons from the cinematic. But instead of burning to death by the Witch of Izalith or getting shocked by Gwyn, they have been afflicted with rot from Nito. So no, these dragons are actually not undead. Dragons were the apex creatures before the Age of Fire, and these dragons are the last few of their kind. But their distant relatives are the drakes. 6 drakes can be found around the undead dragon. Even though dragons should really hate lightning, now the drakes still use it. They are cousins for a reason. Another cousin is the breach wyvern. There is only one and it just spawns to fuck with you. The red shade is nice though. And the armored tusks are boars donned with, guessed it, armor. 1 guards undead parish and 2 guard the Duke's archives. Fun fact, the 2 are fully armored, but they seem to lack the funds to protect the lone boar's backside. So you can backstab it. Man-eater shells are simply beautiful to look at, but don't get too close, your skull will get turned into their pearls. But since they can be found in the crystal cave, they might have something to do with Sith, or Sith just likes them as pets. Mimics. Really top of the food chain, but man, you must adapt. Turn into a chained prisoner or something. Oh god, why am I giving them ideas? Crystal lizards probably hoard crystals and make them their homes like the real-life hermit crabs. But unlike the name suggesting, they do not hold crystals, they usually hold gems or twinkling titanites. They're in the game as a neat mechanic, nothing more. But you know what else is a neat mechanic? The subscribe button. Ring the bell to stay updated to get ranking type videos. Although this is not a ranking video, I initially planned to do so, but is so little to go on. Anyways, crystal lasers are not related to Sith, founder of crystal magic. Speaking of which, next up are beings made by Sith or related to him. Crystal golems are the direct creations of Sith the Scaleless. He could have done a better design though. These just act as guards, but the golden ones seem to be able to hold someone captive. Well, that is certainly useful for someone like Sith. And also finally somehow ran away from Sith to reside in Darkroot Basin, probably along with the Moonlight Butterfly. The minor Moonlight Butterflies are the mass-produced versions of the boss. Come on, Sith was not gonna create only one of this. They can cast crystal magic built within them. Another creation is the Pisakas. Why did these guys have a cinematic of their own? Anyways, they are kidnapped women, kidnapped by the channelers and experimented on by Sith himself. No idea what he was going with though. Additionally, the miracles found by slaying the last 2 Pisakas implies that these might be former nuns or clerics. Patches will be happy. Oh, and wait, the golems in Darkroot Basin now make sense, right? Because Dawn is a cleric. Sith sent the golems to capture her, and the golden one was successful. Damn, it makes sense. The channels are servants of Sith. The other way to capture clerics. They are spread around Lodran to kidnap mainly undead. For Sith, for his crystallization experiments specifically. Other than that, they have sick dance moves. And the results of the crystallization are the undead crystal soldiers. I think some of them are already stationed in the archives. Anyways, they are the result of Sith's experimentations. And lastly, the Crystal Knight, possibly a higher ranked knight stationed in the archives or just, kidnapped. He alone guards Sith's personal room. Now we are going to talk about some magical stuff. I say magical, but these are just enemies I could not properly categorize, so just chew them together here. Like the 2 possessed trees, which are trees that are possessed. But since they guard the wolf ring, the ring might have something to do with the possession. The stone knights residing with the trees were once stone guardians of Ulasil. After the bloated incident, they simply shut themselves down due to a lack of maintenance and a lack of sentience in their masters. Although due to some inexplicable game logic, they seem to have grown smaller when found in the Darkroot Garden. Vagrants have a nice concept, plus stains of other players given physicality. Too bad I never faced them. The egg carriers are servants of the Fair Lady, Kulak's sister. The vile maggots born from the eggs are probably her children? I don't know. They might even be the Blight Pus incarnate. So the Fair Lady, seeing Blighttown, wants to lessen its denizens' sufferings. So magically she takes in the Blight Pus and transfers them to the eggs, which the carriers carry. What a sweetheart. But this is Dark Souls. So the pus is not transferred fully, thus hurting her and diminishing her gradually. The parasitic wall hugger. Why is it not in wildlife? Because assumptions. So it protects power within, is named Prince Izalith in the game files, and resembles Xanthus king, Jeremiah, who utilizes chaos magic. See where I'm going? Yeah, it's probably nothing. Now to close off the video, we'll look at some enemies that belong to a unique race, Ich. The blow dart snipers found in Blighttown are not hollows, so they are not probably human. Yet it lives in harmony with other hollow inhabitants there. Probably have a symbiotic relation. They toxic you and the ghouls, well, kill you. The 3 giants found in Sen's Fortress are slaves. Giants were common slaves found in Anor Londo. The sentinels are seemingly giants, royal sentinels as well. The blacksmith is a slave giant, and so are the 3 in the fortress. They do not have any life goal other than to contribute to the difficulty of traversing the fortress. And by the way, who the heck is Sen? The man serpents are listed in wildlife in the wiki, but they have enough intelligence to wield lightning magic. They also contribute to the difficulty, not guard, of Sen's Fortress, but unlike the giants, they do not appear to be slaves. Existence of Elizabeth implies that these mushroom people can reach full sentience, so it would be nice if they do that and stop punching me in the face. The 2 butchers in the depths are not human, nor hollow, but enjoy the undead. Actually, we don't know if they actually eat the undead themselves, but they do cook it for someone. It might be Manager Mildred, as she bears a resemblance and invades you in a close area. The butchers are also women, have random fact dropped by Miyazaki himself. As said before, the Ents are descendants of the tree and gardeners. They were in service of Uelsil as gardeners, so I don't know why they are attacking me instead of running away. But they said, fuck capitalism, and went full caveman soon enough. The Phalanx, a tribute to demon souls. I would not know because I have a PC only. The 14 beings comprising the Phalanx does not seem human nor hollow, but since they ended up in the painted world, they must have been scored. So that's about half the enemies. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and comment down your thoughts. Who are your most favorite enemies? Who is the most annoying? Also, subscribe to get notified about the next part of this video. Goodbye and thanks for watching.